Hi, this is Zak Mir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here on Share Talk for Monday, the 28th of September. Starting off with Alba Mineral Resources, which has been one of the more kindly stocks on the way up over the recent past. I mean, we've seen many stocks rally over the last few months, but it's more the journey rather than the magnitude of the rise which counts. Here there was only one hiccup with the peak through 0.42 and then coming back towards the 0.3 zone after that, but since then, the last couple of weeks, we've done rather well, and at least while we're above that resistance line there from January at 0.45 pence, we're looking for further upside. Ideally and logically, we'd retest 2018 resistance there, 0.65 over the next 2 to 4 weeks, while we remain above 0.45 pence. Advanced Energy is a stock I'm particularly proud of, given that there was hardly any charting furniture to look at, but shares have managed to behave themselves pretty well. The current situation is that we are above the neckline resistance, the peak of June at 0.25 pence, and while we're above that, looking for the projected top of channel target as high as 0.4 pence over the next few weeks, ideally well before the end of October. On to Bluebird Merchant, which continues to bask in the glory of funding news and the prospect of being able to deliver on its business model, let's say. Breaking out of the recent or the post-April trading range between 4 and 5 pence today, with a gap as well, which shows that the stock means business. An end-of-day close above the initial September peak of 5.12 pence should get the shares well on the way to the top of the rising trend channel from February, currently pointing to 9 pence as a target over the next 4 to 6 weeks, perhaps even managing to get there by or before the end of next month. Ecoatlantic was a situation which looked as though it was going to rally from mid-month, but we did come back to test the 20 pence area one last time. What we're looking for now really is an end-of-day close through that June resistance line around 22.5 pence. So we can get that today, tomorrow, etc. Then we should be on our way this time towards the May resistance line projection at 35 pence, hopefully as soon as the end of the next month. And all of that valid while we hold above near-term 20 pence support. Iconic Labs is a stock which has divided the market rather sharply over the recent past. Had a nice nudge through the 0.02 pence level today, and while we're above the 20-day line at 0.014 pence, we're looking for an eventual move towards the top of the broadening triangle from May, currently pointing at 0.05 pence plus. At this stage, only really back below 0.01 pence, which is the obvious support over the near term, really delays the recovery argument. Onto a stock which is a slightly different kettle of fish, and that's Mothercare. Thought I'd just cover that now, just on the basis that looks as though we're going to get an end of day, or the second end of day close of the month above the 200-day moving average at 9.57 pence. If we can get that, then hopefully by the end of October we could hit the top of that rising trend channel from March at 16 pence plus. This stage only really back below the 20-day moving average at 8.75 pence, really delaying the recovery scenario on what is obviously quite a counterintuitive buy situation on a fundamental perspective. Today we've got decent contract news from Orphan, with shares peaking at just under 19 pence, or around 19 pence actually, off the back of £4.3 million contract win. End of day close above 19.5 should be enough today, tomorrow, hopefully, to get the shares up to the next target, which was a long-awaited target for the stock at a May resistance line projection, currently pointing at 24 pence, and hopefully we'll see that by the end of next month. Only back below Friday's intraday support and former initial September resistance at 16 pence, really delaying the upside scenario. Good to see Integumen recovering well today. Yesterday I was rather sheepish about the stock's technical abilities, but the support coming in at 28 pence, which is effectively a double bottom for September, and the rebound, bear trap rebound from just below the 50-day moving average at 31 pence has worked well for the shares. It should be enough to get the shares into the low 40s, even if we then fade again, but while we're above the 50-day line, looking hopefully towards the early 50s as a best case scenario now over the next week or two. This stage, early and end of day close back below 28 pence, really delaying the recovery scenario after the rather horrible rug pull that we saw last week. On to Savannah Energy, where we're in the same sort of boat as we were with Advanced Energy. Not much of a chart to look at, but it looks as though near-term consolidation for the shares between 7 and 9 pence has finally finished, and at end of day close above 9 pence could be the trigger for a move towards the top of that rising April trend channel at 14 pence plus over the next 4 to 6 weeks. This stage only back below 7.5 pence, and the floor of the channel, the 2020 channel, really delays the upside scenario. Just a couple of stocks to go now. The first is a rather illiquid situation, but one which seems to be determined to break out. Here we've got Tiger Resources, and here you can see that we've broken that line of resistance from 2017 around the 0.35 level. So an end of day close on a mid price basis above 0.35 pence should be enough to take us towards 0.85, which could be a 1 to 2 month target for the shares. At this stage, only really back below the 50-day moving average at 0.28, really delaying or cancelling the upside scenario. Forgot to include ValiRx yesterday in the bulletin board here, as maybe it was just as well, given the rather volatile price action. It's done a little bit of an integumen in terms of the share price action today, in that we hit that resistance line projection from the beginning of May, almost exactly at 72, 73 pence, and have come back down to rest on what was formerly a trendline target at 48 pence. We'd either like to see the shares hold or close well above the 48 pence level today. If they can do that, then hopefully we'll be back to 70 pence plus. Otherwise, probably a trip to the upper 30s would be the risk on an end of day close back below 48 pence. But at the moment, probably want to give the benefit of the doubt to the bull argument, at least given the way that we've already come back a long way from the intraday high of the session. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.